Excellent. I think we're live now. Thank you, first of all, to everybody, all of the panelists who made the time. Some of them are not in India, they're in China. Uh, some of the participants, some of the audience actually are in many other different time zones. I believe we have people who've registered from over 4 or 5 continents. So we've got a very, very diverse audience from all sorts of places. Welcome, all of you. This is the second webinar that we're having for NIFTA. My role here is just to set the introduction, just introduce everybody to NIFTA, and then I will hand over the webinar to the moderator, who is Manish Tribhuvan. So let me just quickly run you through a very, very quick introduction to NIFTA. For that, I'll just use a presentation which I'm showing. So NIFTA is short for the Association of NIFTA Alumni, which was formed a few years ago. And NIFTA alumni, if you're not already aware, there are about 30,000 NIFTA alumni who have graduated from the National Institute of Fashion Technology, and they lead and influence business worth tens of billions of dollars across the world. And they work across the entire value chain. So from design, product development, all the way through procurement, production, and then building the brands and taking the brands to retail. And of course, the underlying layers of professional services and technology and consulting and all of that. We've had about 3 decades of NIFTA alumni coming into the industry. And the reason NIFTA was formed was that all of these alumni were coming out of different courses and over time, over different campuses. And there was a need to actually bring them all together. Just to give you a very quick idea, NIFT comprises not only of design, NIFT comprises of management courses, of technology courses, and all of them have a integrative approach now, much more so. And therefore, it is also felt that all of these alumni should come onto a common platform which can actually enable them to work together and develop the industry better. The benefits clearly to the industry and to NIFT was the objective was really to create a common ecosystem where we could bring design, technology, and business together, and also create an opportunity to look into the future and create groundbreaking projects for the future, create a platform for mentorship, incubate new ideas. There are a lot of young alumni who have extremely, extremely bright and beneficial ideas which can take the industry to the next level. So the idea was to create that platform. And for NIFT, of course, we've been working with NIFT to update its curriculum, to make it more industry oriented, and also to provide placement assistance to the students as they come out and projects and so on. I think through this, as any other education institution also, with the Alumni Connect, we hope that NIFT itself will benefit over a much, much longer term. For alumni, I don't need to go into details. There are significant benefits that accrue to the alumni if you become a member of the Alumni Association. Just a few of them. If you're a professional, if you're employed, it's a great way to advance your career, or even in these times, to find new opportunities for sourcing, for creating new business opportunities. I don't think there's any network as powerful as this. And then there are many other benefits which are exclusive to members, which we can go into in detail in a separate conversation. The activities that have happened over the last 3-4 years include engagement with the Textile Ministry, engagement with alumni across the country, in fact, across the world, with lots of events and lots of initiatives that have included the academic side, such as curriculum redesign, or industry side, or even many initiatives privately and collaboratively towards environmental sustainability. So these are some of the highlights that I thought I'd take you through. If you've not already registered onto the NIFT alumni website, that's the URL on the screen, which is niftalumni.org, pretty simple. If you're an alumnus, please go and register. Please become a member. and start benefiting from this network that we've formed. Today's webinar, you would have, as you've registered, you would know that we are looking beyond the current situation, which is obviously varying degrees of difficulty, but it is a difficult situation worldwide. But there are certain countries which this problem has hit earlier. They're ahead of us in the timeline, and there may be some lessons for the rest of us to learn from that. So this panel has been formed, and it's going to be moderated by Manish Tribhuvan, who's the head of sourcing at Blackberries. It's a brand which we are very proud of. It was formed by two of our NIFTA alumni and who are NIFTA members as well, senior ones. So Manish will take you through the introduction to the thought process behind this panel discussion, and thereupon introduce the other speakers to you. So Manish, over to you.
Thank you, Devanshu. That was a crisp and very meaningful. All right. Hi, friends. Welcome to NIFTA webinar on learnings from China. We will try to address as many of your questions as possible in the conversation. This is an unprecedented situation. None of us, including me, have been privileged enough to have this experience, and thankfully so. Like each one of you, I also don't know how to deal with it. However, I know one thing for sure, that I will find ways to deal with it. In that quest, some of us sat down and decided to talk to a few people who have dealt with it in the recent past. I have some guests with me who have been in the time zone where the pandemic hit earlier. In fact, for them, it was as simple as what came first, chicken or egg? Very simple, right? Hell no. It was nothing short of fighting a war that we are fighting currently. So let's understand from them what they did right when the pandemic hit them unguarded and learn from their experiences. So here, let me welcome on the panel three very highly experienced subject matter expertise from the industry. Nidhi Sikka, Global Merchandising Manager for Men's Apparel H&M. Welcome, Nidhi.
Hello everyone.
And H&M has been one of the first ethical company that has shown the courage to take a stand to support their supply chain partners in these trying times. Welcome, Nidhi, again.
Thank you.
I now welcome Basant Bhansali, CEO Comtex China.
Hi, everyone.
Good to see you, Basant.
Same here.
And last but not the least, Somen Bishwas, founder and CEO, GC Apparels and Smart Factory for You, a data and design-based sourcing studio based in Shanghai. Welcome, Somen.
Hello, thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and ni hao.
Ni hao.
Ni hao from all of us.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us. Though we understand that you are from you're ahead of China, you are ahead of India in terms of time zone, and it is probably the dinner time in China because people in China take early dinner. Right. So Nidhi, I would start the conversation with you, and I would like to hear from you about the on the learning from how the business changed in China post unlocking.
Before I start, I think I just want to add one thing, that it feels really touchy that, we in the time of the crisis, how we have come together as a family to share our experiences. We are thankful to NIFTA to give us this opportunity to share our experiences live from Shanghai. We all three are here from Shanghai and would like to share our experiences. So just to answer your question, Manish, yes, China has gone through the same phase, what probably the world is going now. India is also going through the same phase. And just put down together, I have something to share with all of you. Just allow me to share my screen. Let me know when you can see it.
Sure, go ahead, please.
Can you see my screen? It's a blank screen right now.
Not yet.
Not yet. Sorry.
All right, it's coming now. Yes.
Yes. So I come across this feeling that, when China was going through this crisis, would like to share the three phases of China, where phase one was the peak phase when everybody was in crisis. It was something we were experiencing for the first time in China, and how the brands were reacting to it, because that time they were not really marketing their products, but they were talking more about showing to their consumer more empathy, more support. So they were sharing more of live stream. They were doing live streaming of yoga classes, how to spend time when the lockdown has started, but still be connected to the consumers. So not with the products, but with more of health messages for the consumer. The second phase which came on was the recovery phase, which was around end of February and the beginning of March. And at that point of time, a lot of offline brands realized that they need to get down to something online. And we have some premium brands like Prada, who came online on the Tmall portal, which is an online shopping portal here in China, very famous. I think most of you would have heard of it. It's like Amazon in US. And Prada got online, and they had, like, within 10 days, they had 47,000 followers with them.
Wow.
So super exciting, yes.
Yeah.
And then comes the phase three, which is the bounce back phase, which is something like now, where things are getting back to normal, or I should say the life is coming back to new normal now. People have started to come back a little bit on the street. They are started to go to the office. Our offices have opened, and they are going to the stores slowly. And what we see is like the new holiday sessions which have started. So soon we will have our Labor Day, and then we will also have a new campaign coming around in June, which is the 618 campaign on the Tmall, where a lot of international and local brands will be showcasing their products and getting it online. So that's just from my side from China.
All right. Thanks, Nidhi. And that is quite some information. And on that note, I would like to bring in Somen in this conversation. Somen, looks like the consumers in China have gone back to going about their businesses as usual. Do you notice any new normal post-COVID?
Oh, yes. What you said is absolutely correct. I mean, the life is coming back. Everybody started going to office or shopping malls, eating restaurants. However, the way, we have been living a restricted life in Shanghai. And however, the way we socialize, we do exercise, the way we eat, and also the way we do shopping, that has been changed to some extent. Allow me to share some of the pictures and some consumer behavior so that we can understand this subject better.
Sure.
Yeah.
The pictures speak louder than the word.
Sure. So here you can see the pictures. This is just the first one is just outside of my office. So you can see the people are back to work, and the only thing is not normal here right now that people are wearing masks. Other than everything looks pretty good. The kids are going to school in some of the provinces. The boys are coming out for a fag break. The restaurants are full. People are shopping from Esprit. And in the last picture, if you see, it's a picture from Muji, and the arrow, it shows there is a new arrivals. So lots of new arrivals are also coming in. People are buying.
Right.
It's a very good sign that things are evolving. But China appears to have overcome the worst of coronavirus, but the economy still need a little bit of time to reboot. In the meantime, I would say that habit makes us habit change into the character, and staying at home for certain time, we have developed certain habits which has become now our character, and we are prone to that. So that in that perspective, I would say that the rise of e-commerce, which is already here very much, like most of the people buy online, but overall we can see the e-commerce business has really picked up. Coming to the consumer behavior, you can see in this chart quickly that 23.55% people are spending less, but they are buying more on online than the store. Nowhere in this chart, people are only buying from the market. So I would say nearly 43, half, 43% people are planning to buy online. Now coming to the, it will be very interesting to see that, how the price points and what are the product categories are coming up. We can see there is a hike on the sports shoes from 2018 till 2020. You can see there is a little bit of up and down, but the price range are from 1200 to 2000 RMB, which is 12,000 rupees, and on top it's 20,000 rupees. So they are not buying anything cheap. Now
I got your point. Somen. So we'll take this conversation forward in the later questions. But at this point of time, I would like to go back, go to Basant and get his point of view on how did the factories and mills handle salaries and wages during the times of lockdown in China?
Hi, Manish. Regarding the salaries and wages during the time of lockdown, there is nothing special. All the factories are required to pay workers as per the law, but only benefit is they can pay only the minimum salary. Government has also given them small relief in the form that social security money, or you can call Indian context, you can call Provident Fund money and ESI money, that has been reduced by almost half. That is a big benefit given to the factory owners, but workers will less get paid for the period of lockdown.
So similar steps like what Indian government has taken, they are paying part of the salary, part of the ESI and PF to the workers from government quota. There are certain conditions in it, but yes, the government has taken some initiative like that here in India as well. All right, okay, go ahead, please.
So apart from that, if you would like to know, I think it will be very relevant for the people, those who are running the factories. How did the factories cope up starting their factories after lockdown?
Right.
So on that point, Chinese government and the Chinese factories together, they have worked out a very smart, intelligent and focused way to use the technology to segregate the workers from the high risk zone to the medium risk zone to the low risk zone. Like people coming from the clusters where there are a lot of problems will be, there is a WeChat code and QR code. I'm sure India is also having something like Setu.
Yeah, we also have an app called Arogya Setu.
Arogya Setu, right?
Yes.
It can be used to segregate the workers so that when you run the factories again or mills again, you can create the workforce into the group and they can work in certain different areas within the available resources and the space.
So Basant, we will come back to this. We'll come back to this part of this conversation. But at this point of time, I would like to know more on what kind of support did the government create for the for the mills and the factories. In terms of, was there any support from bank?
Yes, the banks are giving subsidized loans. Interest rates are lower, and they are very liberal in giving the loans because they know that all the mills and factories are going through the liquidity crisis. So all the banks have been directed by the government to help industry. It's not only about the garment industry, it is about all the industries.
Right. And was there any package from the government?
Yes, the Chinese government has given to the bank directives about labor intensive industries to be helped first.
Okay.
So I believe there are packages. I don't know definitely the details of those packages, but there are available the packages so that I can see most of our suppliers, when we tell them that we can't pay or our buyers can't pay for certain things, they're very relaxed. They are accepting the fact that how to take it forward. They are getting the help from their banks and things are quite okay for them.
Got that. And on similar lines, Indian government has also created, inform the banks to be a little, move a little extra miles to support the industry and provide loans. And they have also asked the banks to provide moratorium to for delaying the EMIs and all of that stuff. Apart from that, I also read that they've created a SIDBI corpus of 50,000 crore to support the industry.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is needed, very badly needed, surely.
Fantastic. So this clearly shows that the business will have to now focus on the new normal to address the consumer behaviors. In that context, my next question is to Nidhi, which also addresses the concern raised by Sudhir from Triberg. What will be the 3 or 4 critical ingredients that will play a key role in the global sourcing strategy?
I think for global sourcing strategy, I can add on the key ingredients, which will be very, very important in the coming days. The first one would be digital escalation, more 3D virtual sampling, which we see many retailers and brands would like to go for. That will help us to save time, take quick decisions, and also at the same point of time help to save the cost and be more sustainable.
Very critical.
The second ingredient which I can add on is to offer attractive deals to your customers, and that will be in terms of prices, looking into sustainable and innovative materials. Also, very important to give better quality of product to our consumers, because they would like to have a good price and also a very good quality which can last for longer. To make this happen, we also need speed in our supply chain for making the things to go much faster for our consumers, because consumer demands are changing and they would want to have things much more faster for us. And the third one, which I think not to be forgotten, is the mindset shift. This is a time where we need to think out of the box. We need to be more flexible. We need to really take the next step towards our innovations and promote these things more and more, because it's the need that we need to do it now for. That's what I would like to summarize as.
Right. So while you answered the other 2 part of my question, which I wanted to extend, but one, I have a couple of questions from whatever you said just now. So earlier, the bigger retailers had very high quantity per SKUs. So do you see that these quantities will now, the smaller MOQs will become the norm of the day, and also that the, what do you call that? The orders getting divided into 4-5 deliveries, staggered deliveries is going to be the norm of the day?
Very good point, Manish. I would like to echo with what, just to add on what Sumain shared a while back on how the consumer behavior is changing. It's more getting online. So of course, online is picking up, and many brands will start looking into more of online, which is not going to be super big quantities as we have been buying. So of course, MOQs will start playing role. It doesn't mean that we'll not buy big quantities, but of course, with the stock situation, this might for some time may be also that we will not buy that big quantities immediately. And MOQs will be important, small quantities will be important. Online business is picking up. So of course, the whole supply chain needs to get shortened. Faster deliveries is what we would be looking for.
Great.
To cater to our online customers.
Great. Thank you, Nidhi, to clarify that. And on that point, again, I want to bring back Somen in the conversation. And Somen, for the interest of enterprise here in India, could you let us know what changes are you making in your own business strategy to deal with the impact and also to create the future business opportunities?
Sure. First of all, that Nidhi from buying side, whatever you, the points you mentioned, we as a manufacturer, we have to do, otherwise we'll be out of the business. So thanks for thanks for guiding us. And then it is really, we definitely like to, consider all your points. So as far as the MOQ is concerned, yes, we as a company, we focus on smaller MOQs only. And as you said, speed, it's comes with a technical upgradation. So we are working on 3D prototyping, so that the sampling can get faster. We also have a cloud where FTP site, where we digitize all our style and all the new fabrics which comes every week. And we give the ID and password to our clients, so they can just mix and match and send us the sampling request. So we do not need to really to and fro emails. They can select and they can get back to us. So this is gone on the technological side. Coming to the speed which is in production, post COVID, the buyers will definitely like to have more of a repeat styles, because they have a data which is already proven that this style is selling well. So repeat would be very important, and definitely they would like to have it in a faster speed. Vis-a-vis, because of the boredom in lockdown or restricted life, there would be a urge to buy colorful or new trendy clothes. So there will be always a demand for small capsules of trendy clothes. So so don't think that the fashion is completely going away. Fashion is definitely going to be there, but definitely it will be in a small capsules. And coming on the production side, we have a module which is a 45 days design to delivery. Yes, from design to delivery is 45 days. So it starts with the
That's
concept.
quite some speed.
Yes, it's a very much on the speed, because the first sample we make, it is as good as the PP samples. So we cut out all the process in between. So the first sample goes to customer, they approve it, and they issue the PO to us, and then it's 30 days production time. So this is the way we are trying to cope up with the demands, what Nidhi was saying, to stay in the business. So
Wow,
and
that's quite a
yeah, and then also quite a new product developments are coming, like because innovation is the mother of everything. So if we have to stay in the business, especially from China side, we have to have lots of innovations. So we are doing mosquito repellent fabrics for dress and tops. Imagine that you have a leggings which is antimicrobial fabrics, etc., but that is a sportswear. But if you have a dress or top which is having a mosquito repellent, so it is actually having a medic treatment, and you are wearing it casually, you feel good that I am kind of protected. So that is the kind of a feel good factor customer should have, that I should wear something that I'm conscious, I'm wearing something which is medicated, which is having some medical properties. So those kind of innovative products are definitely take place. That would be
I get that.
you might say in our strategy to cope up.
Right. And while this fear is, the consumer behavior and all of that is there, which is ever changing now, there is one question that is coming to my mind, which is, I would like to pose it to Basant, that how have the factories been coping up with this new normal after opening up? At what capacities are they functioning? Is there a safety concern or a fear in the worker's mind? What are the measures being taken by the factories? Basant?
Yeah, Manish, most of the factories in China right now are already working up to 75 to 85% of their capacity.
Wow.
Yes. Of course, in last 3 weeks or 2 weeks, there are problems of the orders, cancellation and delays and all that. But apart from that, factories are running almost 75, 85% capacity. And they started working
That's
like
a
this.
big number.
Yeah, they
Very
started
fast.
like this from last week of February onwards.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to the point regarding workers' concern about the safety while working, yes, those are definite concern. And almost all the factories have taken the steps to clean up the factories very thoroughly, disinfect not only once, but every day, 2, 3 times they use disinfectant and clean the factory thoroughly. That is very, very important. Then all the workers are being subjected to the temperature check more than once. That is to make sure that there are no workers who are having active infection from the COVID-19. Those kind of steps have been taken. Then also very important is that social distancing, which we all talk about nowadays, is being practically applied in the factory. Workers are being kept in different clusters, and even at the time of lunch, they are being advised stay.
Yeah, that was my question to you. That how are you maintaining this in the maybe in the lunch session?
Oh, they are given. I mean, like they are broken into the few batches. All the workers will not go at one go. Number one, number two, they will be asked to sit on the different tables away from each other. And even some of the factories have come up with the innovative ideas to put cardboards kind of dividers, like what you see in the office.
That's interesting.
So every factory is coming up with some kind of innovation and their own ideas within the resources available to them.
To deal with it.
To deal with it, definitely.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's quite some work. All right.
Yeah.
So, Somen,
another thing which I forgot.
Sorry, yes. Please go ahead.
Everybody must be wearing mask at all time. Without
Right. So that's your suggestion for India?
No, oh, definitely. Everywhere in the world it should be.
Everywhere.
Right. All right. Okay. Thank you. And Somen, one of your friend Mridul from Adidas has put up a question for you. And the question is, what impact or opportunities do you see for manufacturing-based countries other than China? Do you see China gaining ground on this given that the current state in most of the Asian countries after the due to COVID?
Good.
Did you get my question?
Yes.
Right, thank you.
Hey, Mridul, thanks for joining, and love to hear this question from you. Right now it's too early to comment on that. But what I would say that, every brands or retailer now, they are reworking their strategy at this moment, and they would like to buy from the countries closer to them. But having said that, right now we have, all the manufacturers, we have experienced that, that doing business like this way, the way we are doing, the payment terms, because our payments got stuck, order got canceled, we have many losses. So there is a different way, two set of mindset is working. One is, yes, we are going to go for technological upgradation. One is going for, recovery first, and then we talk about investments. So right now, the brands of post-COVID, the brands, they would like to work with the suppliers who are aligned with them, who actually follow their guidelines after post-COVID, who are still agree to work with them in their payment terms. But if you, as one side of supplier, if you say that, no, I don't agree with your payment terms, or I would like to work on force majeure clause with you on the agreement, so those are a different issue. Then probably you will, we have to think that how we can get the orders. But immediate orders, maybe they're not placed with you. So there's a different mindset is working. But yes, as Nidhi was also saying from the buying side, that speed is the key. And, we have seen that last year there was an issue on tariff and lots of order was moved from China. But they also came back because of the speed, because the buyers, they wanted to have the, impact on the, they like to have raw materials and production at the same place. So yes, there is a chances that the business will come back to China, and probably it is coming also a little bit, but it's too early to say what will be the exact impact on this. But very importantly, we must consider, from being a manufacturer, we must consider that we need to rework probably the payment terms, or should we rework on the payment terms, force majeure, or we should not do that part. So that is the key, is going to be for all the manufacturers.
Got that. And then, Basant, I have a question from someone from TUV called Subhadeep.
Okay.
And, this one, he wants to know, are there any developments around the protective fabrics, medical textiles, like virus resistant, etc.? How is the market for medical supplies protective gear going to be?
Let's look at first what is happening as on today. This market is booming as of today. And the way things are, vaccine not being available, no medication being available, solid medication for this one, I anticipate that this PPE category of the product is going to remain for next 6 months to 1 year very strong. A lot of fabrics are being developed in China right now, which are suitable for the medical use. Woven fabric as well as non-woven fabric also. Woven fabric are being given the finishes which are antibacterial finish. They don't have anything specifically anti-virus like COVID virus, but these are the protective gear. So basically prevent you from getting infected by all kind of things. And this market is going to remain very strong.
Okay. And how long do you see, because in India also, the protective gear, is taking a lead for last, couple of weeks, and government has given permission to some factories to manufacture that. But what I want to understand from you, Basant, is that how long do you see this, being strong, this market being very, very demanding, a lot of demand in this market?
Honestly, I'm worried about oversupply because every country, you take it Indonesia, you take it Vietnam, you take Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, everybody is on this bandwagon. And there is very soon going to be oversupply. So 6 months to 1 year, maybe yes, but eventually no. Eventually, Nidhi will call the shots. It will be fashion back and not going to be the medical.
Correct.
That's my
course. That's what we wish for.
Absolutely in line with you.
me too.
So what you are saying is that it will last for about 6 months to 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, considering that there is no vaccine and the fear in the mind of the people is going to be like that. Well, yes, mask will be there, but other protective gears like hazmat suits and all that, I don't think it is going to be in demand for very long.
True.
All right. Okay. So now, on that note, I would like to hear from all three of you your closing comments, and I would like to start with Somen, and then I would go to Basant, and last with Nidhi. Your summing up comments, starting from Somen.
Yeah, so I would say that a crisis is basically, it's all about opportunities. So especially in my NIFT juniors or youngsters, I would say that this is the very right time to jump into entrepreneurship. There are lots of opportunities. Trust me, there are lots of opportunities. If you guys are doing, you guys are designer, or if you guys are production, look for new way of developing products, new innovations which the regular factories or regular companies are not doing. So it's a perfect time, because being in China for 13 years, why China is so powerful, because of their entrepreneurship mindset. So right now, if you see that everybody is selling masks, lots of people got job loss, but they are not sitting idle, or they are not blaming others. They are just finding out how we can get some money. So they are trying to sell the mask. So you try to get into the entrepreneurship. And second thing is that don't really try to look for bigger companies, because bigger companies now probably go for pay cuts, and then they will shrink themselves. So they have their own challenges. But very good news that lots of small organizations will pop up, and they will come with different services and product developments. So join them, because in big companies you learn process, but small companies you learn how to execute your dreams. So dive in, and then get into it, and I'm sure you will love the journey.
You're saying startup is the right time for startup?
Absolutely 100%.
Right. Basant, what do you say?
I will talk about what India needs at this moment.
Sure.
All factories are going to start soon. All mills are going to start soon. So I would highly request you and recommend you to contact your ministries, contact your local administration. And one point which we have not touched upon, educating your workforce, which we missed to talk about.
I think it is very important.
I would suggest you start sending them flyers, because all the workers come from the different clusters. Like some come from UP, some come from BR, or whatever the area workers have gone. Please start educating them about hygiene, about washing the hands, reporting their status, about their temperature, and every worker should report about who is having problem in their family or around them. This is going to help you to start.
I think you made a very pertinent point, some very important point for us to take care of.
That is something I want to recommend and request you to talk about it to your.
Yes, and we will definitely make a note of it.
Apart from that, yes, we all definitely going to have a great times in the coming years. This is all going to pass.
Yes, brilliant. Thanks, Basant. And before I go to Nidhi, and Nidhi completes, Nidhi gives her summing up comment, I would like to tell everyone to please wait for one final question, which a very important guest has asked us, and I would answer that question in the end. Yes, Nidhi, please go ahead.
My chance now. So to sum it up, I would say two keywords which are very important is technology and speed in everything what we do. So in the entire fashion cycle, technology and speed is the two keywords which we need to take away. And these are not new words. These are old words. But the thing is, it's time that we have to act for this now. We need to get aggressive and we really need to take actions now. This is a time for us.
Yes. This is the
time. That's it from my side. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Nidhi. And the last question that I've got is from a gentleman called Mr. Ramesh Agarwal of Rupa and Company. And his question is, what opportunities do we see for India, and is India ready? Thank you, Mr. Agarwal, for asking this question. I think it's a very pertinent question. And I would say that India is only as ready as the big manufacturers and retailers like you and all of us are. India is only as ready as we are. Not just in the words, but also in the approach and actions, and capable people like you have a very important role to play in it. It's only for India to look at it as an opportunity and grab it with both hands. The whole world is looking towards India for two reasons. One, because of its people-centric approach. Two, the whole world, this kind of support that the whole world has got from India during this crisis. So there has never been a better time than now for India to take a leap and build the capability that is missing. And in that context, we at NIFTA assure you that we are ready to partner with you with all our might and reach. Let's connect. Thank you, Mr. Ramesh. And before I leave the audience, my final comment is that immaterial of the implication of the lockdown, please remember, there is no lockdown on laughter. There is no lockdown on dreams. There is no lockdown on conversations. There is no lockdown on creations. There is no lockdown on breathing. Life is not under lockdown. So keep laughing, keep living, stay safe, and stay indoors. Love you all. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.